Hello, my name is Derek Cross. I am a student at Colorado State University Global Campus within the Ops 510 Operations Management course under the instruction of Dr. Melinda Hollingshed. This presentation is a discussion of quality management within operations and includes analysis of a simulated case study. Let's discuss the purpose and structure of this presentation. The purpose of this presentation is to explore quality management as it relates to operations and analyze a simulated case study. We will begin by defining what quality management is within the context of operations and discuss why it is an important component of successful organizations. We will then look at a brief overview of the simulation and its goal, before discussing the model and strategy used in the simulated quality management scenario. We will then analyze the methods and techniques used throughout the simulation and compare the results to the stated goal before looking at the lessons learned throughout the simulation and the conclusions we can draw about quality management and operations as a result. First, we need to answer the following question: what is quality management? In their book, Operations Management, Sustainability and Supply Chain Management, Heiser et al. Define quality management as the totality of features and characteristics of a product or service that bears on its ability to satisfy stated or implied needs. There are three definitions of quality. The first is user-based, which proposes that quality is determined by the end user. In this sense, quality means better performance or more features. The second definition is manufacturing-based, which argues that quality is conformance to standards and delivering the correct product or service the first time. The final definition of quality is product-based, which views quality as precise and in terms of measurable variables. Quality management is a critical piece of operations. Organizations with successful quality management approaches can see higher sales, reduced costs, and a better reputation. Quality management has implications across three specific areas of an organization. The first, as stated, is the reputation of the company. Public perception is difficult to change, and companies cannot self-promote or advertise their way out of a reputation for poor quality. The second is product liability. Poor quality products or services can cause illness or injury to consumers and may carry regulatory penalties or sanctions from standards organizations that incur additional cost. The final area is the global market. With today's globalized economy, poor quality not only hurts the profit line, but also provides opportunities for competitors across the globe to take advantage and win customers. Let's take a brief look at the simulated case study. In this simulation, we were asked to act as the general manager of Sabare, a local Italian restaurant. We were tasked with addressing quality issues at Sabare over a one-year period starting on January 1st. At that time, Sabare had $0 in profit for the year, a $20,000 budget for quality spending, and an average review rating of 2.5 out of 5 stars. During the one-year simulation period, various issues would arise that would need our direct attention, such as equipment failures, poorly trained staff members, and supplier quality complaints. Our mission for the one-year period was to satisfy two goals, one for profitability and one for quality. To achieve the profitability goal, we must reach $360,000 in profit. To achieve the quality goal, we must finish the year with an average review rating of 3.5 out of 5 stars. In order to accomplish these goals, let's take a look at the approach used to implement quality management in the simulated case study. To accomplish our goals, we settled on the following approach. First, we would constantly monitor the percentage to completion of the profit goal and compare it to the expected percentage completion. For example, to achieve $360,000 in 12 months, we should be at $180,000 halfway through the simulation. If we were ahead of schedule, we were free to spend on any quality measure we deemed necessary. But if we were behind schedule, we would only spend money on necessary measures we knew would completely eliminate the issue. Second, we would utilize the review system as our pass or fail indicator. Reviews with 1 or 2 stars are treated as failures, and multiple instances of a complaint would be addressed. Reviews with 3 or 4 stars were carefully reviewed to determine if there was an actual complaint or if it was simply noise. For instance, one 3-star review was a complaint that the children's menu was boring. This is just a personal opinion, and because it only appeared once in the entire simulation, we knew we could safely ignore it. However, other 3-star reviews mentioned burnt pizzas, which were corroborated by multiple sources and addressed as a serious complaint. Reviews with 5 stars were celebrated. High quality should be the expectation, but achieving that is cause to celebrate. Finally, we would analyze all feedback as soon as it arrived. We would not wait and review at predetermined intervals. Instead, we would review feedback in real time to eliminate the delay between issues arising and being addressed. A worked out example of this approach can be found in Appendix A. This approach may not be enough on its own, so let's look at a few other methods and techniques used throughout the quality management case study. The first method was to put faith in the staff. Rooney writes that companies need to have a culture where people are not afraid to suggest changes and where such suggestions are recognized and rewarded. Managers must remember that their staff members have a vested interest in the success of the organization just like they do, and treating their concerns with respect is a great way to quickly address quality issues before they get out of hand. The second method was to never attempt a quick fix more than once. If the attempt fails, all of the resources used are wasted. They could have been dedicated to a more robust solution. The third technique used was treating large issues with a healthy fear and respect. They need to be done right the first time. Some of these issues are intolerable. For example, one of the big issues that arose during the simulation was a rat infestation inside Sabare. This is an unacceptable problem for a restaurant and could lead to a customer or staff member becoming ill or getting hurt. It must be addressed correctly the first time, as allowing this to continue is not only poor quality management, but unethical behavior as well. Another technique used was to rely on multiple sources to confirm an issue is present. Making a large investment from a single, isolated incident could be a waste of resources, but frequent issues all addressing the same source indicate that action needs to be taken. The final technique used throughout the simulation was to document all reported quality issues. What was the complaint? What is the scale of the issue? Could it jeopardize the health and safety of staff or customers, or was it a smaller issue we could afford to take our time addressing? What are the possible consequences of temporarily letting the issue go versus committing to spending our resources immediately? This sort of detailed documentation prevents issues from occurring more than once and stops complaints the moment they are confirmed as real. So by incorporating all of this information into our quality management approach, how well did we perform over the 1-year period? As a reminder, the goal of the simulation was to finish out the 1-year period with a profit of $360,000 and a minimum average review rating of 3.5 out of 5 stars. In our case, we finished the time period with an actual profit of $423,000 and an average review rating of 4.5 out of 5 stars, surpassing expectations for the contract. As an additional note, we achieved our target of $360,000 in profit on November 14th, meaning we enjoyed an extra 6 weeks of profits on top of our target value to end the year. The main factor in our success was spending on high-quality solutions for major preventative measures, meaning we did not have major quality issues repeat themselves. An expanded set of these simulation results can be found in Appendix B. What lessons can we draw from this simulation and the results? The first lesson is that quality is an opportunity, not an obligation. It provides organizations with a chance to differentiate themselves from their competitors and serve their customers at a higher level. The second lesson is to do the big things the right way. Preventing the repetition of major issues allows resources to be available to address the smaller issues as they arise. Of course, this is easiest to do when the budget is ahead of schedule. The third lesson is that customers are unforgiving. Organizations only get one chance at a first impression. Customers rarely return to grant a second chance after experiencing an issue related to poor quality. The final lesson learned is that product and service quality are very different. In the service industry, there is not always measurable data to rely on. A majority of the feedback received is subjective. There are not standards or specifications that can be used to gauge quality. Quality in a service must be treated differently. Now, let's look at some final thoughts on quality management after the simulated case study. Quality management is a critical piece of successful organizations. It has implications for the company reputation, regulatory or standards liabilities, and competition across the global market. Sartor and Orzace write that quality today, more than ever, represents a great opportunity to be seized for business and society. Quality management should not be looked at as an obligation, but as an opportunity for organizations to differentiate themselves from their competition and position themselves for long-term sustainable success. Further information, such as an example of the quality management approach in use and the full results of the simulation, will follow shortly in the appendices. Thank you for listening and have a great day.